our ninja stars being thrown and our sword being pointed out. So we'll bring back up the inputs again, just to have them here. So as you can see, we've got fire 1, fire 2, and fire 3, and they're set to be we've got left control and we've got mouse 0. So mouse 0 is left click. We've got fire 2, which is left alt, and we've got mouse 1, which is right click, I believe, and then fire 3 is left command, and that's also mouse 2. So we've got, those are defaultly assigned. We've been using L and enter, I believe, for our sword and our thing, so we might want to change these to use those buttons. So instead of left control here, we'll change this to just saying L. Whoop, delete all that. We'll just say L. That is L, not I. Very confusing sometimes between those letters. So now instead of looking for left control to do fire 1, when you press L, it'll do fire 1. And then for fire 2, instead of left alt, actually we'll do this the other way around. We'll do L for fire 2 and we'll do enter for fire 1. Actually, instead of enter, I think we have to type return. Yes, return. So now when fire 1 and fire 2, when L or return are pressed, they'll fire 1 and fire 2 respectively, and it'll work the same for left click and right click on the mouse. So now you have mouse controller support. And again, with the gamepad controller, you'll use, I think that will be X and B. I think we'll try it out in a bit. But now that we have those, we know what they do. We'll go back into our code, and we've got our sword thing here. And here we have get key code L. So instead of key code L, what we want to do is delete this little section, and we want to say get button. Get button down, and then which one is this? Fire 2. Perfect. And we want to do the same with our ninja star. So here we go. If we got our get key down, and we've got get key here, because we're using two different ways of doing our ninja star throwing. So we want to make sure we preserve that. So instead of get key, we're just going to replace that with button. And down here we're going to replace this with button as well. And instead of get key code return, we're going to type in fire 1. And the same here, fire 1. Oh, don't forget to wrap it in quotes to make sure it knows it's looking for a string. So now we'll save this, pop back into our game, and once it's finished compiling, it should start playing. And now we should be able to use a variety of different ways to control our special moves of our player. So here we go. I can left click here and get these. I can stab. I can do my sword attack with the keyboard. I can throw with the keyboard. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to happen. And one of the handy things now is, of course, now that we've decided that we can just use these fire buttons instead of having to go to our code to change what button we're using to fire to activate our sword or throw our ninja stars. To fire our ninja stars now, for example, we could change this to K and then just hit play. And once the game is running again, now we can just tap K. Enter no longer works, but K fires our little ninja stars for us. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to happen with that as well. So there's one more. I'm going to put this back to return. There's one more little thing we need to do, which is the only other control input that we have at the moment is our end of level script, which is moving upwards, or when we're in that zone, sorry, you press up and it loads the next area. So what we need to do is open that script up, our level loader script here. And we'll open that up here in monodevelop. And here we go. We've got input that got get key down, key code W. So that's when we pressed up. But we don't want to do that. We were using our horizontal input. Now we want to use our vertical input, which will, much like with the horizontal one, it uses down, up, and it uses S and W for that. And down here, can see it uses the joystick axis and it's using the Y. So that's getting the controller input. So we pop back in here, and instead of input the .get key down, we will say input dot get button down. No, sorry, not get button. We're doing input dot get axis, and again we'll use get axis raw, and we want to use the vertical axis. So by itself right now, what that'll do is it'll just detect if there's any input going on, but that's not what we want. We want to detect when it's pressed upwards. So basically when it's greater than 0. So if input.getAxis raw vertical is greater than 0 and the player is in the zone, then we'll save this, and now we pop back into the game, and again we wait for this to compile down here in the corner, and we'll hit play, and then once it's finished compiling it should play. And now if we wander on over to the end of the level, throwing our ninja stars along the way, chopping up dudes, killing ourselves unfortunately. Jumping over this way, and now press up here, or I pressed W there, so that worked perfectly fine. Press up here, again, loads perfectly fine, exactly what we want. And there you go, that's the basics of it. That's all our controls working so far as we can tell. But what I'm going to do now is plug in my controller here. And now, once that's plugged in and ready to go, I'm going to hit play here. And because of the way Unity works, it's very helpfully actually. It used to be a lot of problems with games was that you couldn't plug in a controller after the game had started and then it wouldn't work. But luckily Unity lets you keep doing that quite easily. So now, well, there you go. Well, you can see here that our controls are kind of a little bit backwards. So the jump button is Y, which you'd much rather have it being A, but it's now A is fired at, and then our sword is on B. So let's change that around. So we go back to here. So down here is where we've got our joystick controls. So fire 1 is on 0, and that's what A is. You can look up a reference guide of which inputs go where, but 0 is basically it goes from the bottom counterclockwise. So 0 is A, 1 is B. Jump. Sorry. 0 is A, 1 is B, 2 is Y, and 3 is X. So what we want to do is we want to have jump on A. So we'll go down to our jump here. We're not using fire tree for the moment. Go down to jump here, and so we want that on A. So we'll put that to 0. Oh no, we don't, not completely 0. We want joystick button 0. Fire tree won't be used, so we'll actually put that on. Put that on 2. For fire 1, we want to use our X button for that, so we will use joystick button 3. And our fire 2, we will use B, and that will be joystick button 1, and that's already set up. That's exactly where we had it already. So now we've changed the control slightly, so we'll go back to the game, and now we've got our jump button working perfectly fine, just the way we want it to. We've got our sword in the right place, and we've got our ninja stars in the wrong place. They should be on. I think I had the numbers slightly backwards, and they're on Y at the moment instead of X. So our fire 1 should be on joystick button 2, not 3. Oh yes, because they don't go in a clockwise pattern, they go in a strange, confusing pattern, sort of a zigzag from bottom, right, left, top. That's the way it goes. So now we've switched those around. We'll hit play again and back in here. Now we've got our jump all working perfectly. We can throw our ninja stars just the way we want, and we can I forgot to press the right button. Now we can use our sword to chop guys all the day long, and you can use our our joystick to press up as well, and we can head through the doors and everything. Everything is just fine and dandy and exactly what we want to happen in the game. So there you go. That's the basics of using the inbuilt controller configurations for Unity and how to add controller support to your game. So thanks for watching, everybody. I will be back soon with more tutorial goodness, and in the meantime, don't forget that you can head to twitch.tv/GamesPlusJames and watch me working on my own game. You might pick up some more tips and tricks of how to work on your own stuff, but most importantly, keep learning and you will have an awesome game before you know it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this episode, and if you'd like to see just how some of the concepts we've covered can be brought together into a fully fledged game, then head to portalnauts.com and check out the demo for my game that I've been working on for the last while. It uses a lot of the concepts we've covered so far in the series, as well as other things that we're going to cover in the future. So if you want to get a feel for where we're going and what kind of things you can make with these with the basics of Unity, head over there, try out the game for yourself, and let me know what you think of it, of course. And the best place to let me know is to head to Twitter @GamesPlusJames. Say hi, I'm always there, ready to say hello and do stupid things. But also, if you'd like to see some of the game being worked on and developed in real time, head to twitch.tv/GamesPlusJames, where I regularly stream development of the game, and you can get to see behind the scenes of how things all work. So, head there, say hello, and I'll see you all in the near future.